Why are people unhappy? Tammy C. Walker here, the owner of Dreams Are a Reality. I created this channel to provide light and love. How are you? All is well here. Gearing up for the Memorial Day weekend. I took Friday off so I could have me 4 days off. And I, of course, just booked up some of those days with fun activities, but I still want to get some rest. Just to be able to not have to work is enough for me. Okay, I hope you're doing the same. This is why people are not happy. They are not taking time off. They're working too hard. But why are some people unhappy? This is not to talk about people with severe mental illness. I'm not referring to them. I'm referring to some everyday people who are simply not happy. I can tell you why some people are not happy. There are some people, instead of looking at what they do have, they go down the list of what they don't have, and they repeat that list in their head. Instead of going to the solutions, they go to the problems. And I'll give you a couple of great examples. They may have electricity. They may have air in their car, air in their home. They may have heat in both places, running water. They are able to do this. If you can breathe in and breathe out without an oxygen tank, baby, you are on to something. I think sometimes, and I'm not trying to be gross or anything, people take this for granted, being able to go to the washroom without assistance. There are some people who can't even, do a number two without, they need medication. They don't have regular, bowel movements. It's something I could say. We all have to do that. But we take those things for granted. We take for granted that we may have a good support system, great kids, a good spouse, or, we have our parents. What a blessing that is, Even for those of us who don't have our parents, if we were blessed enough to have parents that loved and cared for us and left us with morals and values, that's still a reason to be grateful. I thank my late parents all the time for what they provided me with, because it didn't have to be that way. We have to remember it's a blessing. I open my blinds in the morning and look at the sun rising and setting. And it's a blessing to be able to see that. I saw, nature yesterday. I don't know what was going on. A big raccoon at 5 p.m. Where did she, I bet that's a lady raccoon, think she was going to have the audacity to be real big and wasn't afraid. And she came from this residential area where the houses are and crossed the street and was came into our complex. I told my sister she was looking for an apartment to rent, but that's the nature. I don't know why she was out there early. I think she's looking for food. Made me happy to live on the second floor. But anyway, that's God's nature. We take that for granted. The trees, I'm looking at it here where I live at, and they just bloomed and blossomed so quick. And I remember when they were brown, it was winter. So it's so nice to be able to look at nature. But we're so busy on social media, on Facebook. We're missing the simple pleasures of life. Sometimes I don't eat a lot of ice cream, but sometimes I'll be like, I'm going to get me an ice cream because it makes me smile to eat ice cream. Sometimes do stuff like that, simple stuff. Pick up the phone and call a friend, somebody that's cheery. Do those things. We are unhappy because some of us simply choose to be. There are people that hold on to their pain. They hold on to the hurt. They live in fear. They're scared to take a risk. And before they even start, they start off negative. Another big reason why some of us are unhappy, we are codependent on another person to be our everything. How can somebody be my everything when sometimes people, they can't even figure themselves out? I'm still learning about me. So how can some man or even a friend or a relative expect for me to be their everything when I'm still trying to figure things out about myself. We can't do that to people. Expect for them to always answer our calls. Expect for them to do what we want them to do. Now we have a robot, and who wants that type of person? Happiness is an inside job. You can't depend on your husband, your wife, your significant other, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your friend, family, whatever, to be your everything. Do you hear about mothers who hold on to their adult kids? They don't want them to get married or have a life, and they just hold on to their adult child. You know what? If I was a parent, and I'm speaking, hoping that I would have been this way if I was a parent, my ultimate goal and dream would have been for my son or my daughter, or, if I had multiple, to be like a bird, be in the nest with me. And, my husband, we raised them well. And then I would like to have kicked them out the nest and let them fly. You want to have your children become a upstanding citizen for this world, but you don't want to hold on to them where they can't live their best life. Your kids are going to make mistakes, the same ones you and I did. Look at us. We came out okay. Get out your kids' business. Stop worrying about what they're doing. Yes, if they're marrying somebody that's stranger danger, that's your child. I think you can throw your opinion on it, but you're not going to be able to stop it. Even if you don't approve of who they marry, what the hell can you do? That's like a pet peeve of mine, even though I don't have kids. I hate hearing these stories. And yes, a therapist, I hear it all. I hear so many mothers meddling. It's just shameful. Get the hell out their business. Oh, God. Anyhow, I'm going down a rabbit hole. That's just something I do not like. And I tell people that about my parents over and over. Not angels, we're not perfect, far, far, far from it. Dysfunctional, just like you all, some of you are, whatever. But what I do love about my parents, when I became 22, 23, they took their hands off. Was like, good luck, girl. And of course, if I had came to them with a problem, they would have tried to help me. That's what parents do. But they did not butt their nose in my business. I really appreciated that about my parents. Yes, I am a private person, in case you wonder. I just don't like people in my business. And I don't like to get in people's business. But to be happy is an inside job. I tell some people, make a fun list. 10 things you would love to do. I can tell you some of my stuff. I love music. I've been listening to some old school music this weekend. Beautiful. I like my guitar. I have not been playing it, but it's on my list. I love playing tennis. Our pool open here. I'm going to that pool. I believe it or not, I'm starting to like exercising. So I did that this past weekend. I love to journal. I do that mostly every day. I like to meditate. I do that often. I run my diffuser. These are things that make me happy. I love a good cup of coffee. Just had it. I love talking to a good friend. Did that this past weekend. I always do that. I love sports. I've been watching the NBA playoffs. Get your fun list together and do it. And if you're feeling down and out and kind of blah, jump in your car and go somewhere. Go to Barnes and Noble. I hope you have one where you live. Go get you that ice cream. Go sit at a pond and watch the ducks. You'll be surprised how happy you will feel. Some of us are unhappy because we're stuck in a rut. We don't know how to get out. And again, as a therapist, one of the hardest parts of my job is to suggest things to my clients. They don't do it. They don't even want to try to do it. I'm not talking about severely depressed. When they severely depressed, I'm just grateful that they can even talk to me. But I'm talking about a little bit more stable, and you're going through these things each week, and the next week, no progress. Like, they don't even want to try. Or better yet, I'm really referring to this. Can you try to do 5 minutes of meditation? No, that doesn't work for me. I tried it. Can you journal? Oh, I hate writing my thoughts down. Can you watch this YouTube? I don't like YouTube. Can you go for a walk? You know what? I get real tired fast. And by this point, You done listed 5 things, probably 6, and they shot down everything you say. Is that somebody that's open for help, or you just want to get on here and complain every week? To be happy, I'm gonna just tell you the gospel truth. It's hard sometimes, unless you're a naturally happy person. I don't know. That's my sister. That's my older sister. That's the only one I know like that, really. A couple of more people. But other than that, for me, it's a freaking routine that I got to do. I got the Power Positive Thinking open right now. I got my journal here, my calendar. I got the Power, The Secret, The Power, the book. I'm going to do a meditation. I got to pray. And these are the things I have to do because I got kids waiting on me at school. I got people this evening looking to talk to me, but I got to get my head screwed on right, or I can't present my best self to them. Am I happy every day? Absolutely not. Are there some things in my life that I wish were different? You better bet your bottom dollar. Am I grateful? Amazingly grateful. Amazingly grateful for one more day. Summertime in the Chicagoland area. I live in a great space. I'm blessed to have 2 incomes. I can walk around my apartment. I have 10 fingers and 10 toes. And I have 2 feet and 2 legs and 2 arms. I can see, I can smell, I can hear beautiful music. I can seize this moment. I'm happy. I have a YouTube channel. Slow grind. You all who've been with me for a while know I've been grinding to get to that 1,000. Slow grind. Probably done quit about 15 times, but I'm still here. You just gotta seize the moment. Seize the moment. I'm learning as I'm getting older, especially right now. I'm becoming more private. The more I talk about some stuff, I just regret it because I just want to make my decisions slowly, surely, wisely. And I don't like a lot of opinions because it doesn't help me. It just really confuses me. And some are not even warranted, and some are just dang on fearful and negative. So become private. That's another way to be happy. Be more private. The more you talk, the more people spew their stuff on you. It's just something I just don't really like discussing some parts of my life. Actually, a lot of parts right about now. I don't know. That's a whole nother video. But I hope something I said can help you with happiness. It's an inside job. And if you're looking for your kids to make you happy by being successful and making it big or getting a degree, and you'll be happy when your kid gets a degree, you're going to be disappointed because sometimes the stuff you pick out for them, they don't want to do that. Let your kids soar and fly. Yes, mom and dad, you don't want to see them make a bad move. Talk to them if you can, but don't try to take over. Because what I am seeing with these parents, with the grown kids, they're miserable. The parent and the child is going on about their business. So get you some business. You did your job as a parent. You did it. Let them soar. Please, that one is a big one. What about you and your partner? It's time for you all to shine. I remember years ago, it was about 6 of us ladies in a women's group of therapy. It was a tough situation because them ladies had some deep stuff. I had deep stuff too. They were older than me. The one lady, she had 3 kids, her and her husband, and they were out the house, and her husband and her were lost. Who are you? We don't know each other, because she said they had spent so much time going back and forth, taking their kids to sports and this and that. Once those kids were gone, it was nothing in the middle. It was almost like a ham sandwich. Put the ham in between the bread and maybe a slice of cheese. But it was like they just had 2 slices of bread. Nothing was in the middle because they had made their kids their everything. Don't bank your happiness on any person, place, or thing. Like, you see some people, they're driving a Tesla, they're driving a big body Mercedes, and they're smiling. But how long are you happy over a car? Really and truly. You get your new home. How long are you happy over it? You get that mortgage, you're like, ugh. You start, what is that buyer's remorse? Should I have even bought this? Did I need this car? It's like that stuff don't provide happiness. Well, it don't for me. I mean, grateful. I'm grateful that I can have things, but it doesn't provide a long standing happiness. Joy. We sung a song in church, Kurt Franklin. Joy, joy, God's great joy. Joy is something that you cannot pay for. Joy is when they tell you you have breast cancer. It's very aggressive. After you process it for, after 2-3 weeks, this is my story. After I processed it, I was like, let's get it. Let's get it. No, every day wasn't sunshine, but I had joy that I was at a top hospital in Chicago. My friends rallied around me. My family was amazing. And the prognosis, all of it was good. It was positive. So I had joy knowing I'm going to be okay. Was I scared? You better believe I was concerned. Very, very. But I had joy knowing I could be off and I had disability money coming in. So joy is different from this worldly stuff. It's an internal compass, but it comes from faith in God, in Jesus. For me, I know people say, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in all that. I don't get into that. I don't do all that. That's your thing. I'm talking about, this is my story. This is my channel. Dreams are reality. So I have to tell you what works for me. I remember I had a friend, we're not friends no more, there's over 20 plus years. She was like, how do you stay happy? She said, I noticed that stuff be happening, but you still seem happy. I said, well, I really have strong faith in God, and I pray. And she said, I don't want to hear that God stuff. Well, we might as well, you know what, we can end this conversation because that's all I could talk about. You ask me a question about how do I stay a certain way. I'm presenting to you what I do. I didn't tell her she need to do it. I'm telling her what I did because she asked. And then she said, I don't want to hear that God stuff. So, hey, man, look, to each his own. You got to find your own way. The stuff I named, that may not work for you. But what I would do if I were you, I would find what works for you and work it. But don't do it one time. Make it a part of your ritual. You are responsible for yourself. Don't expect somebody to come and save the day. They're not. You got to do it. Tammy C. Walker, the owner of Dreams Are Reality. I hope something I said helped you. And hit that like button, hit subscribe. I always forget to ask that. Maybe that's why I'm not getting subscribers. Gotta ask, right? Bye.